This video is about to give many of you a reality check. There's a pandemic going on right now of men that are total and utter simps. You couldn't even call them men at this point, but boys. With the way the media raises the new generation, along with the decaying society we currently live in, they believe that women and relationships are the tip of the crown. Now, don't get me wrong. Relationships can get a man where he's able to overcome his limits and achieve the impossible. But prioritizing them over everything else is a huge mistake, especially when you are young and single. To be fair, you can't really blame them either, because many have been totally brainwashed, wiped clean from ever remembering their true worth, mission, and morals. In fact, I want you to go on your Instagram right now and click the Explore tab. 90% of the time, you couldn't scroll for more than a few seconds without coming across a sexually provocative picture or video. It's almost as if they want you to abandon your purpose and shift over to the decaying, rotten path which is full of lust, shame, and guilt. Remember this, young brother. Love, affection, and intimacy are great things, but only if you pursue them at the correct time and in the correct way. Period. You have been tricked into believing that relationships are just free pleasure and happiness. Everything that is wise and virtuous has been perverted. But that's a totally different discussion for another time. For now, keep this in your mind. Looking for the woman of your dreams could be your downfall if you don't make a name for yourself first. And exactly how do you do that? Well, it comes down to the 5 precise things you must prioritize over women. Number 1, your self-image. Think about the average man of today. He struggles to be confident and sees himself as someone who's not worthy of respect. Just go to your local music festival and you will see men who are so into their head that you can tell that they are not enjoying themselves by just looking at them. They are completely dead from the inside, standing around and bobbing their heads just to fit into the crowd. The average man is so used to pleasing others that when he looks in the mirror, he sees not a leader, but a submissive servant. It might sound harsh, but think about the last time you were proud of yourself. I truly mean it. Close your eyes for just a few seconds and think about the last time you truly felt the rush of adrenaline inside of you, or the release of positive dopamine for something good that you did, something that you were proud of. Picture a fighter that just won his fight. Think about how he beats his chest, how proud he is of himself. That victory then becomes a core memory in his subconscious mind, which, when stacked up against other wins, makes him believe that he is nothing short of an undefeatable beast. For many of you brothers who are listening to this, your self-image is broken like shattered glass. It's been many years since you've won anything, let alone stack one win on top of another. How many times have you said, "I won't watch porn again," yet you go right ahead and do it? How many times have you said that "I will start that side hustle," yet you convince yourself out of doing it every day? You are not stacking wins, but losses for yourself every day. So how can you expect your self-image about yourself to become strong? Why would others respect you or take you seriously when your own subconscious mind doesn't even respect you? So remember, guard your reputation with your life, both in front of your own self and in front of others. Number 2, your mental health. Have you ever seen a mentally unstable man able to keep his woman? Most likely not. Men who are mentally unprepared to tackle the challenges of life are also unprepared to handle a relationship. There's a very beautiful saying that whatever you give a woman, she'll multiply it and give it back. Listen to these words. You give a woman a house, she will turn it into a home. Give her a seed, she will give you children. Give her joy, she will give you peace. But the opposite is also true. How many men have I seen throughout my lifetime who were in a rut of bad mental health? And what did their women do? They multiplied that burden. Of course, this is not to say that all women are narcissistic and create hell. But as a man who is the head of the house, if you crumble, so does the rest of your structure. Women can give you pleasure, love, and comfort. But with poor mental health, you won't be able to enjoy any of it. Regardless of what society may say, that, oh, women can help pull their man out of bad mental health. But for how long? It ultimately comes down to you to tackle your own issues, or you will see a large gap form between yourself and your partner over time. Quit any and all activities that crumble your sanity away, like porn, excessive social media use, and living a careless life on autopilot. Number 3, focus on your career and studies. When we were young, many of us had parents that would stop us from going to parties or hanging out with friends for too long. Instead, they would say, "Go and do your homework." Many of us hated them for saying that. But as our life progressed and maturity kicked in, it all made perfect sense. The same is true for these early single days of your life. Ignore the distraction that comes with lust and relationships. Focus on your craft and let the girls come secondary. I have heard countless stories of men who were right on the verge of unlocking their true fulfilling life. Then bam, that life came crashing down. They entered a relationship that costed them heavily. Their women would expect them to be home at a certain time, tell them not to overwork on their craft, and force them to spend money in all the wrong places. So remember, young brother, focus your energy solely on one mission without being double-minded or distracted. Do not let anyone slow you down. A perfect example of this is the way most Eastern countries raise their young. This is what you call delayed gratification that will pay off greatly in the long run. Number 4, your physical health. Admit it, the majority of men out there suffer from the pains of terrible health due to the constant stream of sugar and processed chemicals in their bloodstream. There are 25-year-old men who can't stand up straight without hearing a cracking noise come out of their body. And here's the worst part. They attempt to pull girls with fat and unattractive physiques, never realizing that with a little bit of dedication and patience, they too can build the body of a Greek deity. Here's the blatant truth. Men find an hourglass body shape of a woman attractive, while women find the V shape on a man attractive. Let's say you finally found a wife who you dearly love. Is it not your responsibility to want the best for her by offering her an appealing look? And that's why most marriages fail as well, because the sexual desire dies down over time. The flame in the relationship that would keep the couple chasing after one another all of a sudden dies down and goes cold. Because of this, I have even seen conservative housewives lust after other men because their own man couldn't satisfy them. This is a subject that is not often discussed and may be very uncomfortable to discuss for a lot of you. But always keep in mind, connecting with a person who has a good heart and soul is all well and good, but the way you look is equally important. And finally, number 5, your plans for the future. Be honest with yourself. The goal of every man is to eventually settle down with a woman at some point or another. There are pimps and bangers who pervert that and like to hook up with as many women as possible. But regardless, women are one of the many goals for all men. But if you have a calling, a mission, a purpose that you are actively pursuing, then don't abandon them to go out and chase cat. If you've been paying attention, you would now realize that all the previous points come together in this last one. That's because all of them are only part of the bigger picture that you create for yourself. So, remember, brothers, women are great to have in your life. They definitely add a great deal of meaning to a man's life. But they are only the icing on the cake. First, get the actual cake ready by practicing the 5 strategies that we have discussed today. To see the next best way to level up as a man, watch this video here.